The magic piggy bank. Nina was 9 years old and loved asking questions. Leo, her younger brother, was 7 and curious in a different way. He liked to open things to see how they worked. One rainy day, while they were tidying up Grandma's attic, they found a dusty piggy bank at the bottom of an old box. It was pink, with a carved smile on its face, shiny eyes, and a golden coin stuck in its mouth. "Whoa! What a strange piggy bank," said Leo, poking the little creature. "It looks like a pig." "But did it just wink at me?" exclaimed Nina. As soon as she touched the coin, a golden light surrounded the two siblings. Everything spun, and suddenly, they were no longer in the attic. They were in a magical place, full of trees that grew coins as fruit and streets made of colorful bills. "Where are we?" asked Leo, holding his sister's hand. "Welcome to the kingdom of economy," said a cheerful voice. It was a piggy bank itself, now talking and wearing a blue vest. "I'm Tutu, the magic piggy bank. You've been chosen to learn the secrets of money. But don't worry, here everything is an adventure. Are you ready?" Nina and Leo looked at each other. They were more than ready. Capitulados, the value of money took them to a square full of stalls and all kinds of people. There were merchants, street musicians, cooks, and even a magician trading tricks for coins. To start, "What is money?" asked Tutu. "It's what we use to buy things, right?" said Nina, hesitantly. "Yes, but money isn't just paper or coins. It's a way to exchange things. Long ago, people traded goats for corn or bread for milk. But that was complicated. What if you wanted bread, but the baker didn't want corn?" Leo laughed. "So they invented money to make everything easier." Tutu nodded. "Exactly. Money is trust. People believe it has value. But you need to understand, money doesn't grow on trees. Here it might look like it, but even these trees need care." Suddenly, a man with a long beard and a hat full of coins approached. "I'm Mr. Moneywise. You'll learn from me why money is worth what it is, and how to use it wisely. Because those who don't understand the value of money end up losing more than they realize." Nina and Leo listened closely. They were beginning to understand that money was more mysterious than it seemed. Tutu winked. "Ready for the next lesson? Capitulados earning is different from receiving the next morning." Nina and Leo woke up in a lively village inside the kingdom of economy. Tutu took them to the little coin fair, where kids like them did small tasks in exchange for shiny coins. "Today we're going to understand the difference between earning and just receiving," said Tutu, handing each of them a small notebook. Nina saw a girl helping an old man organize books. At the end, she received 3 coins. "Wait, wasn't that just a gift?" asked Leo. "No, she earned it because she worked," explained Tutu. "That's different from when Grandma gives you money just because it's your birthday or Christmas. Earning involves effort, time, and responsibility." Leo then decided to help a baker pack bread. He earned 1 coin and felt proud. "Now that's earning," he said with a smile. "And if I help more, do I earn more?" "Not always," Tutu replied. "Some jobs are harder, others more important. That's why payments vary." You'll see more of that soon. At the end of the afternoon, Mr. Moneywise appeared. "You both did a great job. Now you know that money earned through effort has a different kind of value. he said, handing them a card. Official worker of the Kingdom of Economy. Nina looked at the card and smiled. She was learning that money had much more to do with choices than she ever thought. Pod enviaro capitulo for original cuando estai pronto. Capitola cuatro wants versus needs to took them to a place called the Dream Mall. It was huge, colorful, and full of store windows with toys, shiny clothes, food, electronics, everything a kid could want. Today we're going to learn how to tell the difference between wants and needs, said Tutu. And you have a mission. Buy only what you really need with these 10 coins. Nina and Leo got excited and ran inside. Leo immediately wanted a talking robot that blew soap bubbles. Nina had her eye on a princess tiara with colorful lights, but then they stopped. One of the stores had items like a toothbrush, a jacket, a healthy snack, water, and even notebooks. Toothbrush is a need, tiara is a want, Nina murmured. But I really wanted that robot, sighed Leo. We all want cool things, said Mr. Moneywise, appearing beside them. But learning to prioritize is the secret to financial intelligence. In the end, they bought only what they truly needed and still had some coins left. Tutu smiled. Now you understand. Wants aren't bad, but they need to wait when needs come first. That's called planning. Leo proudly put the remaining coins in his pocket. One day I will come back for that robot. But in my way, Capitolo Cinco, the mystery of the empty piggy banks at morning. Nina woke up excited. She wanted to buy a souvenir from the Kingdom of Economy. But when she opened her coin pouch, it was empty. What? I had coins yesterday, she exclaimed. Leo also noticed he only had 2 coins left. Tutu appeared, flying in a balloon made of paper bills. Looks like you spent more than you thought. They sat on a bench with Mr. Moneywise, who pointed to a large board called the saving map. A lot of people think saving money is hard, but the secret is simple. Save before you spend, not after. But what if I want something now? Asked Leo. Wanting everything now is like eating all your candy at once. It gives you a tummy ache, and no candy later, said Tutu.to understand better. The siblings played an interactive game called the Piggy Bank Challenge. In it, every coin they saved created a star. Those who spent everything ended up with no coins and no stars. Leo tried spending just 1 coin. Nina saved half of hers. In the end, they both earned simple prizes and learned that saving a little today can lead to much more tomorrow. Saving isn't losing, it's choosing wisely, Nina concluded. Capitulo sees the shop of decisions. Tutu took the children to a very special shop. There, for every item they bought, a consequence appeared. This is the shop of decisions. Everything you do here will have an effect. Nina chose a pair of shiny sneakers, and a sparkling road appeared. But the price was high, and now she had no coins left for lunch. Leo bought a card game and a tower of fun appeared. But while playing, he missed the chance to buy a secret map for their next mission. Every choice brings a sacrifice, Nina murmured. Exactly, said Mr. Moneywise, appearing beside them with a golden watch. Choosing one thing means giving up something else. You're learning to think before you act. In the end, the shop disappeared and was replaced by a peaceful field, where a new crystal coin appeared. This is a coin of wisdom. It only shows up when we make good choices, explained Tutu, handing one to each of them. Wow, now I get it, said Leo. It's not just what we want, it's what's worth it. Capitulo see the value of Timonina, and Leo followed Tutu along a path where clocks grew on trees and clouds told the time in the sky. They arrived at a place called the Valley of Time, where everything only worked with time. Today, we are going to discover one of the world's most valuable resources, time, said Mr. Moneywise, appearing with a giant pocket watch. The children received magical watches. Every time they helped someone, the hands turned and a coin appeared. Nina helped an old man pack groceries. Leo carried water buckets for a gardener. The coins appeared slowly, but steadily. I'm earning coins with my time, said Leo. Exactly, Tutu replied. Time is a resource. When you give it with effort, you can turn it into value. But then, a shiny box appeared with free games and snacks, offered by a rushed little gnome. Enjoy now. Time is for fun. Leo ran over, but quickly realized his watch had stopped. Nina observed, he's distracting you. Playing isn't wrong, but using all your time without thinking is like wasting invisible coins. Mr. Moneywise smiled. Those who learn to use time wisely are never truly poor. In the end, Nina and Leo received a golden hourglass, a symbol of the value of time well spent. Capitulo oided the maze of temptation. Tutu led them to a gigantic maze. At the entrance, a warning read, "Caution, every desire has a price." Inside the maze, display windows popped up everywhere. Floating candies, talking toys, clothes that danced on their own. This is awesome, shouted Leo, grabbing a coin and buying a flying toy car. But as he took the next step, one of the maze exits shut. Every time you spend without thinking, the path becomes harder, explained Tutu. Nina resisted many temptations until she saw a magical book that told stories on its own. She bought it and the maze shifted again. Ow, it's getting hard to get out, said Leo, stumbling. Deep inside, they found a sign. The exit lies in discipline. We need to stop and think, said Nina. Let's save our coins and move forward. They ignored the next flashy ads, and slowly the maze lit up. A golden gate appeared. When they exited, Tutu congratulated them. You faced the impulse to spend. Now you are stronger. Mr. Moneywise appeared with a chest and gave them a new item, the compass of control, which glowed whenever they made conscious choices. Sometimes the hardest thing is saying no, said Nina, but it's worth it. Leo added, Capitulo know from dreams to goals at the top of a golden mountain. Tutu showed Nina and Leo a magical telescope. Look, there, he said, pointing dot in the sky. Images of the children's dreams floated. Leo saw an amazing video game, and Nina saw a trip to the beach with her parents. Those are your dreams. Now let's turn them into goals. But what's the difference? Asked Nina.mr. Moneywise appeared with a clipboard full of stars. A dream is a wish. A goal is a plan. A goal has value, a deadline, and steps to reach it. Tutu handed them special notebooks. The children wrote, Leo's Dream. Buy the Super Mega Game Z cost 20 coins. Time, 4 weeks actions. Help with tasks in the kingdom and save 5 coins per week minus dream. trip to the coast was her parents' cost. 100 coins time, 3 months' actions, save part of her allowance. So magical bookmarks, now we have real goals, said Tutu, as the notebooks began to glow. A goal gives you direction. Without one, you spend on anything and never get anywhere, taught Mr. Moneywise. Nina closed her notebook gently. Dreaming is good, but planning is even better. Capitulo des the starry, but just next day, Tutu took them to a shining hall where the floor was made of numbers and beads, and the ceiling displayed constellations shaped like coins and piggy banks. Welcome to the budget hall, he announced. In the center, a large magical chart appeared, divided into columns. Income, fixed expenses, variable expenses, savings, funler. Moneywise guided them. A budget shows where your money is going. And today, you will create your very first one. Leo wrote, income, 10 coins per week, helping in the kingdom, fixed expenses, 2 coins snacks, variable expenses, 3 coins surprises, savings, 4 coins fun. 1 Koanina made hers too, adjusting it to match her goal of the beach trip. It's like solving a puzzle. If I spend everything on snacks, there's nothing left to save, Leo realized. Suddenly, the stars in the ceiling aligned, forming the phrase, those who plan, achieve. Tutu smiled. A budget isn't a prison. Its freedom was direction. Mr. Moneywise sealed their notebooks with glowing stamps. Congratulations. You are now star planners of the kingdom of economy. Nina and Leo looked at each other, excited. They were mastering the map of the money world. Capitulo on the interest fair in the heart of the kingdom of economy. There was an enchanted fair where the stalls didn't sell things, they multiplied coins. It was the interest fair. Multiply coins? Is that magic? Asked Leo, eyes wide. It's not magic. It's interest, explained Tutu. When you save money in certain places, it grows over time. That's called positive interest. Mr. Moneywise appeared with 2 transparent piggy banks, one for Leo and one for Nina. Let's do an experiment, he said. Put 5 coins in here and come back in 5 days. They did as he said and went on exploring the fair. There were games, showing how time affects money growth. The more time, the more coins, but be careful, warned Tutu. There's also negative interest, like when you borrow money and have to pay back even more. Leo tried a test. He lent 3 coins to a character at the fair, and the next day he had to return 4. That doesn't seem fair, he said. That's why it's important to know when it's worth borrowing or saving, replied Mr. Moneywise. At the end of 5 days, the piggy banks were fuller. Nina had 6 coins, and Leo had 6 as well. 1 extra coin without doing anything. That's the power of making your money work for you, said Tutu. Nina smiled. I want to add this to my goal plan. Capitulo does the battle of the cards. Tutu took the children to a magical arena where 2 giants were facing off. One was a credit card, shiny and full of promises, and the other was cash, strong and transparent. Welcome to the battle of the cards, announced Mr. Moneywise. Here, you'll see how easy it is to get confused when using credit. A hologram began to display an interactive story. A child bought a toy with a credit card. Everything seemed easy until the next month, when they owed not just the toy's price but also high interest. Using a card is like taking an invisible loan, explained Tutu. If you don't pay everything correctly, it costs you a lot. Leo looked worried. So, is it better to never use a card? No, said Mr. Moneywise calmly. A credit card is a tool. When used responsibly, it helps. But when used without control, it becomes a trap. Nina tried a simulation game where she had to manage purchases with a credit card. If she went over the limit, the game froze. It's like having a magic wallet you need to respect, she said. In the end, both received a new item, the shield of credit control, which lit up whenever a financial decision needed extra attention. Leo looked at Nina. I think being responsible is more powerful than any shiny card. Capitulo trees, a castle of debt. Tutu led Nina and Leo to a dark, silent place. A gigantic castle rose before them, wrapped in chains made of coins and doors locked with overdue bills. This is a castle of debt, said Mr. Den Geraldo, appearing with a lantern that shone light in the shape of numbers. Here, you'll understand the danger of spending what you don't yet have. Inside, they saw rooms filled with whispering voices. Buy now, pay later. Just one more loan. You can pay that next month. These are the traps of irresponsible spending, explained Tutu. When you fall into uncontrolled debt, you lose your freedom. The siblings walked through a hall where characters were chained to massive bills. One of them said, I just wanted to buy a bicycle. Now I'm in debt for months. Debt can be useful, said Den Geraldo, like in emergencies or to invest wisely. But when it becomes a habit, it becomes a prison. To escape the castle, Nina and Leo had to organize piles of debt papers, prioritize payments, and create a repayment plan. Once outside, they received a map of financial freedom with 3 golden instructions. Don't spend more than you earn. Use credit wisely. Always keep an emergency fund. Leo held the map to his chest. Now I get it. Debt isn't a monster, but it must be faced with courage and a plan. Capitulo Cat is a village of conscious consumption. After leaving the castle, Tutu led the siblings to a colorful village where everything was made from recycled materials. The villagers lived with little, but smiled a lot. This is a village of conscious consumption, said Tutu. They entered a shop where every item had to tax. Price in coins, invisible cost, environmental or social impact. This toy costs 5 coins, but the invisible cost is high, asked Nina. Yes, explained Den Geraldo. It was made with rare materials and causes a lot of pollution. This other toy costs 6 coins, but has almost no impact. So sometimes the cheaper one is more expensive for the world, Leo reflected. The siblings also saw examples of reuse, fair trade, and local commerce. There were workshops where children made toys from old materials. Nina made a pencil case from juice boxes. Leo turned an old button into a keychain. Being a conscious consumer means thinking before buying, said Tutu. It means choosing with respect for nature, people, and your money. At the end of the day, the whole village applauded the siblings. They had received the green seal of ethical economy. Having money isn't enough. You have to know how to use it for good, said Nina. Leo added, and that's worth more than any new toy. Capitulo Quince, the village of conscious consumptionists. They left the castle. Tutu led the siblings to a colorful village where everything was made from recycled materials. The villagers lived with little, but smiled a lot. This is a village of conscious consumption, said Tutu. They entered a store where each item had to price tags, price in coins, invisible cost, environmental or social impact. This toy costs 5 coins, but its invisible cost is high. Nina asked. Yes, explained Don Geraldo. It was made with rare materials and pollutes a lot. This other toy costs 6 coins but has almost no impact. So sometimes the cheapest ends up being the most expensive for the planet, reflected Leo. The siblings also saw examples of reuse, fair trade, and local commerce. There were workshops where children created toys from old materials. Nina made a pencil case from juice boxes. Leo turned an old button into a keychain. Being a conscious consumer means thinking before buying, said Tutu. It means choosing with respect for nature, for people, and for your money. At the end of the day, the entire village applauded the siblings. They had earned the green seal of ethical economy. It's not enough to have money. You need to know how to use it for good, said Nina. Leo added. And that's worth more than any new toy. Capitulo Desisi, the island of entrepreneurs, took the siblings on a boat made of ideas to a lively island. Stalls, workshops, theaters, and inventions everywhere. This is the island of entrepreneurs. Here, ideas turn into money. Mr. Don Geraldo appeared with a badge. Today, you'll be young entrepreneurs. Think of something people need and offer it. Nina thought quickly. I can draw. I'll make personalized gift cards. Leo had an idea. I'll fix broken toys. The siblings set up their stalls. At first, it was hard. Few customers, questions about prices. Tutu taught them. The secret is to listen, improve, and be patient. Soon, Nina's cards became a hit. Leo, with care and magic glue, restored a dinosaur toy to brand new. They learned about profit, what's left after subtracting the costs. Investment, using part of what you earn to grow. Perceived value, what people think something is worth, not just its price. In the end, they received the hat of entrepreneurial spirit, with a little light bulb that lit up when they had great ideas. Entrepreneurship is about solving problems and creating value, said Don Geraldo. And that's worth more than just selling. Leo looked thoughtful. I think I can use this idea when I get back home. Me too, said Nina. I already see so many possibilities. Capitulo Desisi, the bridge of Comparasansana, and Leo reached a wide canyon. To cross it, there was a bridge made of shelves filled with products. Each step required choosing between 2 similar items with different prices and qualities. This is a bridge of comparisons, explained Tutu. Here, you'll learn to compare before buying. On the first shelf, there were 2 pencils. One shiny, with colorful packaging, costing 4 coins. The other, simpler but sturdy, for 2 coins. Is a more expensive one better? Asked Leo. Not always, said Mr. Don Geraldo. The secret is to evaluate what you really need and consider the cost-benefit. Each time they made a wise choice, the bridge grew firm beneath them. When they chose impulsively, it wobbled dangerously. Nina faced a tough decision. A notebook was her favorite characters, or a plain one with thicker pages. Capitulo desoito, the forest of advertisements. After crossing the bridge, Nina and Leo entered an enchanted and noisy forest. Birds sang jingles, trees offered glowing discounts, and fairies whispered, "Buy now or never again. This is the best toy in the world. Those who have it are happier." "This is the forest of advertisements," said Tutu. "Here you'll learn to separate what you want from what you need." Ads flew everywhere. Leo nearly bought a pair of shoes that claimed to make him run faster than light. "But I already have shoes," he realized, dodging the impulse.mr. Then Geraldo appeared with a special magnifying glass. "This is a lens of truth. It shows what's behind the advertisement." When they pointed it at a toy with a flashy commercial, it revealed, "Expensive, breaks easily, little fun." "Not everything that shines is worth it," said Nina. They played a game where they had to identify wants and needs. Ice cream in summer could be a need depending on the heat. A new shirt just like one in the closet. A want.as they left the forest. The siblings were more alert. They earned special glasses, the critical thinking lenses, which blinked whenever an impulse buy approached. Leo said, "Now I know ads try to make me spend." Nina smiled, "But I decide whether I will or not. This one is prettier, but the other lasts longer and costs less," she thought aloud. She chose a more practical and reliable one. The bridge shimmered and extended even further. By the end, the children understood that comparing is like investigating. The better the choice, the more they save. Smart buying is a way of earning, Leo concluded. Capitulo Desinov, the cave of true values, guided Nina and Leo to a quiet mountain. Inside, a cave sparkled with crystals that didn't reflect coins, but moments, a hug from their mother, a laugh shared with friends, a lovingly drawn picture. "There is no money here," said Tutu, "but there is value.mr. Then Geraldo appeared, this time without his coin-filled top hat. "Money is important," he said, "but it's not everything. What truly matters can't be bought." They walked through tunnels showing scenes from the past. Leo giving his snack to a friend who had forgotten his. Nina helping an elderly neighbor carry groceries. No money was spent, but the crystals glowed brightly. Love, friendship, generosity, honesty, these are true values, explained Don Geraldo. And they should walk side by side with how you use your money. Leo found an inscription on the wall. Whoever knows what truly matters will never be poor. Nina and Leo placed small crystals in their backpacks, eternal reminders that the heart also needs to be nourished. "We'll carry this with us forever," said Nina. Capitulo Vint, the journey home was a new treasure after so many adventures. The siblings arrived at a portal shaped like a giant safe. Above it, the inscription read, "Those who have learned are ready to teach." Tutu said goodbye with teary eyes. "You are now guardians of financial wisdom. Take everything you've learned into the real world.mr. Then Geraldo handed them an invisible chest, which only opened through conscious actions. Inside were all the items they had earned: the gold notebook, the compass of control, the truth magnifying glass, the map of financial freedom, the critical thinking glasses, the entrepreneur's hat, and the crystal of true values. "Wow," said Leo, "this is worth more than a castle full of coins." They stepped through the portal and returned home. The bedroom was the same, but they were not. That night, Nina wrote in her journal, "Learning about money is learning about life. Now, I know how to use it to reach my dreams without forgetting what really matters." Leo drew the kingdom of economy in his notebook and wrote, "Saving is magical. Planning is powerful. Thinking before buying is freeing." And so ends the journey of Nina and Leo. But for those who wish to learn, the kingdom of economy will always be waiting in every choice we make. The end.